And it was literally like a big shoe, like the moccasin shoe.
Yeah.
And it got awarded worst mascot in history by ESPN, I think, at one point.
Who would know that, right?
So I'm glad we leaned back towards the mockingbird. It's a little better. We got the state bird.
Yeah.
If you can't write a contract on the back of your car on a Saturday night, then you don't know enough. All you have to do is show up. Just show up and you can succeed. Let's get to the point. Hope you enjoy this interview with James Rowell. James has been on before. This time you'll hear a lot of laughing and carrying on with regard to where he went to college and their mascots. So it's a little funny. But he also won the award, the Cultural Icon Award last year, and I'll read that. The associate who exhibits the true culture of Keller Williams. So it was a very special interview, and you'll see what's in his heart. All right, everyone, we're here today to talk to James Rowell. James has been here on these podcasts before, so you know how it's done, right? You had 2 awards for the year. We're here to call out, reward, and recognize the 2021 performance for James. And he won the Silver Circle Club Award, recognition of closed sales achievement from $3 million to $4.9 million. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did you do that?
A lot of hard work, a lot of setting goals, modeling those goals, and implementing the systems I have available to me as best I can.
So, James, you've been in real estate 2 years?
Now, that was my second full year.
Second full year, and you were a teacher.
Yes, correct.
Before that, right? And so you're liking the income growth from teacher to realtor, right?
It's a big difference.
It's awesome. So we'll touch a minute on, you also won the Cultural Icon Award. And that award is presented to the associate, the agent, that exhibits the true culture of Keller Williams for, of course, this would be for the year 2021. And I want to just define that a little bit because that's really a cool thing, and it's hard to vote on, okay? All right. So our values for Keller Williams are God, family, and then business. And I'll go on with a little bit. We believe real estate is a local service business driven by individual real estate agents and their local image within their centers of influence and client base. We believe our associates should be treated like stakeholders. We believe stakeholder companies always measure profit or loss, open the books, and tell the truth. And we believe who you're in business with really does matter. And then we have a belief system. That's how we grow our relationship, I guess, among ourselves, is our beliefs. And we call them, and this is all Kellerisms, Y4C, 2Ts. Yep. And so I'll go through them: win-win or no deal, integrity, do the right thing. And I always add, even when no one's looking, to that one. Customers always come first. Commitment in all things. Communication, seek first to understand. Creativity, ideas before results. Teamwork, together everyone achieves more. This is a big one. Trust begins with honesty. And a new one added recently was equity, opportunities for all, and success results through people. So with the God, family, and then business, James, you were awarded the Cultural Icon Award because you help everybody that needs help. You kind of go way out of your way to help people succeed, and you have impressed us so much, even with your training skills for the limited time you've been in real estate. Tell us about that.
I think I always just kind of naturally gravitate towards that. I've always been the person, if I hear somebody that has a question or a problem, if I have the answer, I kind of have to. I have to help them out. So I've being at the office a lot when I first started, once I picked up on something and got good at it, I wanted to just share it with everybody else around me. And I saw a lot of agents who did the opposite, and I kind of always wanted to lead in the other direction, which I see. I think a lot of agents because we're all competing with each other, they kind of get this feeling of, I don't want to give my secrets away, because if I give away my secrets, then they'll do what I do and I lose all the business. And I've always thought there's just so much business to go around and nobody's going to do it exactly like I do it. So why don't I just share and we'll all win together?
That's right. That's a scarcity mentality. But the people that you're going to work with who are in your phone now are different from other people's phone and their sphere of influence, right? Yeah. So yeah, I understand. And people do look at it that way sometimes. So culturally speaking, like how long was your drive in here? Let's go with that. This morning to hold a training class.
It should have been, I think, 45 minutes, but it turned into an hour and 40 based on traffic.
Yeah. So you drove an hour and 40 minutes to help other people succeed. And you didn't get paid for that directly.
No, not directly.
That's amazing. See, that's what the Cultural Icon Award, that's what you exhibit that causes people to really kind of be attracted to or just to come to what you do because it's amazing. Yeah. Give me a little your background, because you were a teacher and your college background.
So I went to the University of Tennessee. I graduated in 2016. My major was middle grades education with a concentration in mathematics and an emphasis in natural science.
So are you a Vols fan?
That's a funny story. So my parents were Vols fans growing up, and so I naturally hated it. Like, I hated that orange. My mom was all go Vols, and I couldn't stand it. Yeah. And so I cheered for the Gators because I was born in Florida, and so I was like, oh, I'll be different. And then I ended up going to UT and graduating, so I kind of get roped into it. But technically, I went to the Chattanooga campus, so I'm technically a mock and not a Vol.
What is a mock?
That's another good question. So it's a mockingbird, but that had been highly debated at our school for a long time. They actually had to do a poll to see what the students thought a mock was, and we went with mockingbird.
I see.
There was also water moccasin. It's still on a display in our old cafeteria, but it was a mascot from the late 80s, early 90s, and it was literally like a big shoe, like the moccasin shoe.
Yeah.
And it got awarded worst mascot in history by ESPN, I think, at one point.
Who would know that, right?
So I'm glad we leaned back towards the mockingbird. It's a little better. We got the state bird.
Yeah, that's awesome. If you were going to give some a 2-year agent some advice, or even the new people, what kind of advice would you give them that's helped you get this far this fast?
I would say, specifically to a Keller Williams agent too, is believe the Keller Williams mantra. Like, I think a lot of people have a big resistance to things. Accept it. And don't try and reinvent the wheel. Look at what the successful agents are doing and replicate that. There's not a lot of opportunity for a new agent to create some niche in the industry that's going to change the game. You might get to that eventually, and that's great. But right now, focus on what the other agents are doing and believe in the method and just stick with it. Don't give up.
So how has your perspective changed in 2 years?
Oh, it's very, very different. I know when I first got into real estate, I kind of had a perspective of, I think I had a number of like 50,000, and I remember thinking, like, if I could just make $50,000 a year, I'll be super happy. That'll be all I need to make. And then as I got into it, I just got more excited on the business leader side of things. Like, it wasn't I'm a realtor, it's I'm a business owner. And how can I be really good at that? And how can I make my business grow? And so I kind of got excited on that side of things. And that's what really got me into the idea of modeling your business and not just winging it every day, not just showing up and doing the skills you got taught, but actually making models for how am I going to do the different processes of my job. And once you do that, you've basically categorized all your tasks, and you can go in and tweak them and make them stronger and more profitable.
So, yes, I remember we had conversations. So your original financial thermostat, I'll call it, was 50,000.
Yep.
Okay. And now what is it?
My goal for this year, full disclosure, is I think $315,000 this year. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, aren't many teachers making that.
That's a decade's worth of teaching right there.
That's right. That is amazing, right? So again, you said follow the Keller Williams mantra. So define that a little better.
I think it's just buy into what KW does differently than other brokerages. There's a lot that's built into it that is more than just selling real estate. It's a culture here. And I think if you buy into that and join the family, so to speak, it'll make it a lot easier for you. I think that the reason I think Keller Williams is so different than other brokerages is we say, we want you to be the best agent possible, not join us and hopefully you're good. And if you're good, you can make us money. We say, we want to make you as good as you can possibly be. Here's the steps on how to do that. And I think a lot of people put up resistance walls of, oh, I don't want to try this, or I don't want to try that. That's not my style. And we're going, look, if you just believe the method, believe the models that we set up for you, you'll be successful, because we want you to be successful. I mean, that's why I always say in classes, what does Gary Keller want for you more than anything else? He wants you to cap every year. That's his end goal. He's made as much as he can make out of you as an agent. If you've capped, that seems like a win-win to me. If I'm a capping agent every year, everybody ends up happy.
Okay, so for those of you not with Keller Williams, this capping agent thing, generally speaking, it's achieved at $60,000 gross income.
Yeah.
So, okay. So, I remember you called me one day. You were all excited. You wanted to investigate. Was it a team?
Yeah, team.
And we ended up, you were so excited that day about investigating that. How did you get there?
Once again, I think it was the whole, how can I make this business stronger? And the first thing I had done was a TC. And I saw...
That's a transaction coordinator.
A transaction coordinator.
Okay.
And that allowed me to break through my first plateau that I hit. I remember when I first started, the first year and a half, 2 years, it was basically just get as much business as you can and make it close. And then I got to a point where it was I had 7 or 8 or 9 deals going at a time. And it was I can't do other parts of my job because I'm having to focus on this. Hired a TC, transaction coordinator, and she took over so much of the contract to close portion that it freed me up to do more lead gen. And it was just seeing the truth in leverage. You hear leads, listings, leverage over and over and over again. And if you haven't leveraged before, you don't get it.
Right.
You're I get the leads and I get the listings. The leverage is going over my head. And then once I saw the power of that, it was how can I do that more? And I think that on top of mentoring, because when I started mentoring, it kind of opened my eyes to being a mentor is basically like being a team leader almost. You're having to push the people below you into production so that you're making money off of them, but it's a win-win. It's a we're all winning together mentality. And so seeing that element of kind of being a team leader and leveraging for the first time made me just kind of open my eyes to, whoa, if you could bring on an admin and if you could bring on a buyer's agent, you could make something that's really special. And that's an opportunity that's very different from just, I want to sell a few houses a year.
And that model is on page 202 of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book if you want to follow the models. That's really good. So most agents say, I don't want to hire a transaction coordinator because either I don't want to pay them the money or I don't think they can do it as good as I can.
Let's say so.
Tell me about that for you.
So the first, we'll go through those one at a time. I don't want to pay. I think that I had that same resistance for at least 6 months where I avoided it because I would have a moment of, I've got 4 deals under contract right now. If that's 4 deals at $400, that's $1,600 I just spent. Or I could just manage these 4 deals and I'd make an extra $1,600. And I was thinking small, not thinking, well, if she's running that side of 4 transactions, that opens me up way more opportunity to lead gen, and I can just make more business into the pipeline. So that mindset was what was holding me back for a while.
I see.
And my big thing I try and tell client agents is, it's pay as you go. You're not paying them a salary, you're paying as you close. So try it for a while, monitor your money. If it's making you more money, it's a good investment.
So your first year doing it all yourself, you made around 50, you said?
Mm-hmm.
And then the second year with a transaction coordinator?
I got a transaction coordinator halfway through the year, and it bumped me up to $85,000 for my second year.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second year, I fought a TC the whole time, and we hit $100,000.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give everybody on that, transaction coordinators?
I say there's two sides to it, and I understand both camps. So my old experience with it was, I think you should do the deals alone for at least a year or two so that you learn that side of the transaction.
Okay.
So when a fire arises, you already know how to put it out. And then I had another agent who went through Ignite with me, and then she was under me as a mentee, and she hired a TC deal one. And I was like, oh, hold on. I don't know. You probably need to learn this side of it. And she confidently said, nope, I know what I'm doing. I'm going to hire a TC. And she has flourished because of that, because she was able to lean into what she's really good at, which is lead gen and conversion. And it kind of made me go, maybe I didn't know as much as I thought I knew. Maybe that is a good fit for somebody to leverage and know where their strengths are. The biggest thing I learned when I hired my TC was not, I can't do this as good as she is. It was, oh, wow, she's way better at this than I was. Mm-hmm. And I was arrogant to think anything else. Yeah. My TC is so organized and on top of everything that I'm like, God, thank God for you every day. Yeah. So it's the opposite of they can't do it as good as I can. You just need to surround yourself with people that can do the stuff that you're struggling at better than you.
I love that. Staying into your strength zone, doing what you're good at. And I do get what you said and that's initially you need to learn everything there is to know. Yeah. But
I always say, like, you don't want your TC to call you and say, hey, we got a Tidewater notice. And you say, well, we're nowhere near the water. What are you talking about?
Explain the Tidewater thing.
So a Tidewater notice is a notification you get if your appraisal comes in low on a VA loan. So if the appraiser doesn't agree with your purchase price, they issue a Tidewater notice, which means we don't agree with your purchase price. We need comps to support it. But if you're new to this, you're going, Tidewater? What are you talking? We're not near the water? What form am I supposed to fill out?
No doubt. Yep. VAs have their own intricacies them that you'll learn going through this. All right. Well, congratulations on your performance last year. Thank you very much for all that you do for our group. This Cultural Icon Award, I think, is really neat, and it's something special, and you certainly deserve it.
Thank you. It was a really special honor. I see the other agents that have won that in the past, and to be with them and winning that award, that's some good air to be sharing.
And I'll say this, who knows, maybe you'll end up being, you said the team leader? Yeah. Maybe you'll end up being me one day.
Who knows, right?
Congratulations.
Put it on the record. We've got that down in history. Yes.
I'm looking for somebody that wants to do this.
Reaching for that torch right now.
I actually need I think you could do it. Did you take a KPA?
Yes.
Okay.
Shayna has it, so I'm curious to see what the score was too.
Tell her to bump that up against the team leader, the attribute part of the team leader side, and let's just see what you end up with.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that'll be kind of cool.